Good morning, New Eden. Today is November 19th, 2023, and this is the Federation Frontline Report. Today we are going, excuse me. My name is Frozen Fallout. I'll be your host today, and my co-host is Night Flyer.
Good morning, everybody, and thanks for turning to the show. So, not a whole lot going on in Eve this week, Frozen. I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, no, nothing really. There's, it's been quiet. The servers have had no issues. The chat server, chat has been perfect.
No
problem.
No problems with local telling you that there's 700 people in your system.
No,
and those same 700 are in the next system.
The forecast for the servers are perfect. Just blue skies. No need for silver linings.
I've literally just been sitting in the station spinning my ship. So.
Yeah, and the Galente have been we've been holding back that pirate insurgency.
That thing.
I mean, but that's not a big concern. It's not like it got to high sec at all.
No, it's not like CCP hates Galente or anything.
No, there's no bubbles in low sec. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I guess we could talk about Havoc then.
Maybe a little bit about Havoc.
Pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a trip. There was a server crash earlier. We hit 40,000 and the server
crazy. Well, I can't. And again, I've only been playing since 2020, but I don't know if I've seen that more than once or twice in that time.
Yeah, we definitely. I mean, well, the one thing is that the 7 days of free Omega, that definitely got people to log on their alts. I think to do alt activities, especially since a lot of these are 5-person activities.
Mm-hmm.
The small gang is up. Solo is there. It's just more dangerous, but it's there. They've got to get their bait to catch you first, but then if you can kill the bait before you get killed, it's but yeah, it's been very active, very crazy. The pirates, the Angel incursion is already over. The Garistic incursion is at 6 of 7, possibly 7 of 7. Going to be happening in a minute now, basically. So
yeah, they're pretty much just steamrolling through the systems. I don't know if this is going to need some adjustment in the future, but
well, I mean, there is a big enthusiastic push from them at this point in time. So there are a few things that tip the scales here in this first fight for sure. One is that they get more LP, right? They get more worth for their LP. So everybody joined. All the farmers went straight into pirate faction. I haven't been able to confirm what their LP to ISK ratio is, but I believe it's better than the 1 million. But I haven't been able to confirm that. If anybody in the audience knows what their LP to ISK ratio is in comparison, but they've got the cooler ships and stuff, so this gives them access to these cooler ships. This gives them access to Zarzak in a special way. We're kicked out of Zarzak. So the offensive side has, like, this is shiny, this is new, it's better to do this instead of fighting for the Galente, because your LP is not going to be as worth as much. But
again, it's new. It's a new introduction to the game, and I think we talked about it last podcast too. Like with the ESS systems, those were big for a while. People were putting fleets together. I mean, BRB put together a corporation just to do the ESSs, and now it's just kind of a passing part of the game. So, whether this will turn into that, I'm not sure, or whether it'll take off with faction warfare, we'll see.
Yeah, I would say that at this point there is a lot of. We need to see how this kind of pans out as it goes down. But I mean, another thing that they have that's on their advantage, both the ISK to LP ratio, I'm not sure if that's going to balance out at some point, just because of the flood of the market that there will be for LP and stuff. And I've heard that their ships, a lot of their cost is in the build cost, not in the the
costs. Yeah,
needing the blueprints. Like, the blueprints are fairly easy to get a hold of.
But yeah, those new ships are really awesome. The Alligator, I think, is kind of taken off as a very meta. It's highly powered. Just the drone damage alone, without the heavy missiles, is still hard to compete against. And it's got some EHP. So
yeah, the
I really like an
looks
Alligator.
really
I'm
good.
looking to get my hands on one. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so yeah, they have that advantage, but they also have the advantage of the taking high sec and churning it in
Yeah.
to low sec,
Mm-hmm.
and churning low sec into 0.0. I have run into a couple of bubble camps in my time now, flying
Yes.
around the war zone, because corruption level 5 has hit, and some low sec systems now are bubbled the living hell out of.
Yeah, I'm stuck in Eldernet right now. I don't know if I'm going to try to get out. I got gate camped getting in, which has been another problem with this new system. I mean, gate camps are always a thing, but they're pretty ridiculous right now. I
Yeah,
can't
it's
get
very
ships.
strong on both sides. We're doing it. They're
Right.
doing it. It's very dangerous. And Alec, thank you so much for the Alex. Thank you so much for the follow. But yeah, we've seen a huge influx of people into the war zone, and that's
Yes,
kind of
definitely.
good.
Definitely.
There's a spot to go fight, to go have fun, small, medium, solo. Everything. It's been really crazy though, because chat's been messed up, right?
Yeah, that's been one of the big glitches. You're flying into a system like right now. This says there's 172 people in Abernal, and I think I said Eldernet, but I'm in Abernal, and there's maybe a couple dozen people in space, and I'm not finding them inside. I don't know if they're actually here or not.
No, so and I've even tested this by jumping from one system to another and checking who's in local. Unless like there was some like crazy, I didn't see the person jumping with me, like, and it was just happened to be one. Like when I jumped from one system to another, that same person was in local.
Yeah, now outside of the pirate area, we're seeing this a lot down in Aboon and Follett, and in the southern part of the faction warfare zone, where it's very common, where you got to like 100 people in system, and there's nobody around, nobody on D-scan, and we couldn't find a fight anywhere with like 100 people in system. So
yeah, so it looks like the Havoc is being had on the servers. Havoc is being had on chat. Havoc is being had on the low sec systems and high sec systems. So I've heard that there's structures being taken down across the low sec or the high sec systems that got turned into low sec. So this is something that, I mean, this is affecting a large chunk of the player base, and that's something.
There seems to be some glitches too that are affecting that. I don't know if that's where you're heading to. Gate guns don't seem to be activating when they're supposed to be, and Concord's not responding when they can. Now we know even in those high sec systems, once they're flipped, you can shoot people and not get a Concord response. But if you blow up a pod, you will. And I'm getting lots of reports from people. I was talking with Chaos yesterday, same thing. Pods are getting destroyed and Concord's not responding to it in high sec. So I don't know if that. It's obviously a glitch that has to get fixed.
Yeah, I mean that, or else they need to change the statement that it is now. Yes, pods will also.
Yeah, because literally there's a Proteus sitting in a high sec system, not a low sec system. This was a high sec, and it was just blowing up capsules as they were coming through the gate. So I lost one. Another person from Sedit lost a one with high grades in it. So that's a good $2.5 billion pod lost in high sec. So
yeah, Trip says it's a feature.
Yeah, it's a new feature. Well, let's hope they get rid of that, because again, I'm all for gate camps. I love gate camping too, just like you do, Frozen. But if I can't get ships into a system, I can't fight there. So I feel that's where I'm at right now. I feel like I'm being pushed out of these pirate systems because if I try to go solo, I can't do it because I can't get a ship, or I
Yeah,
can't get my
I
pod
think
in.
that is another thing with these is that if you're going solo, though, the only way that I would suggest going into this, and this is kind of how I've played it all this time, is to go in with frigates and just try and
Hmm.
find frigate fights. Now you can do a medium with a Navy Comet, like it is there's
Hmm.
because it's destroyers. So the DPS needed to kill these things is not that much. There's 3 destroyers in the medium advanced pirate one, um, and that is kind of nice. So this is very new player friendly.
Hmm.
Anybody with like a week or two into the game can kind of I wouldn't say maybe day one, um, unless you join up with a group. But even a day one person can come in and do these site PVE content, and they're not getting killed by the rats. They'll get killed by a player over getting killed by a rat. I was afraid that these sites were going to be way more PVE content. And I haven't done the Roycule save or kill. I'm wondering how much PvP and PvE content is really there. But there definitely seems to be a big opening for players to come in and do these small advanced sites in Tech 1 frigates and Tech 2 frigates, and faction and pirate frigates. And you're going to be able to go out there and get a lot of fun.
Hmm.
Now, I haven't seen the King of Space out there like causing as much chaos as I thought, um, and maybe it's because of the dangers of moving around. But the worm is not out there in crazy numbers. But the
No, no, I haven't seen it, especially out in fleets. I've only seen it as a part of a solo or
right, and even then I
one in
haven't
a
really
fleet. Yeah.
encountered it all. Yeah, I think I saw one in a fleet. But I was really surprised. I haven't gone out in my worm. I should go get a worm and go out and play with it.
Yeah, I
Um,
was kind of expecting it to be part of the meta that there would be worm fleets
I
out.
think maybe
Just
the worm is getting
jamming, so
trumped by like T2 ships. And then people are also knowing
true.
that if you want to get like a solo fight or be bait, you got to be bait in something that is not, obvious bait and obvious win.
Yeah, someone put up a graph in the Glenty, and I think one of the number one killed ships is the Retribution. So
Yeah, Retribution
uh,
is a good ship. Good ship.
I've lost a couple. I can't replace them now. That's the problem. Is I had four, and now I can't. I think I only have one left in system. So, or in this area.
But yeah, this is definitely. I'm interested to see where else these fobs are going to strike, and if like when they come to Yvangir, how is it?
Hmm.
Is it going to be different? If it depending on what war zone that they come in on. But I mean, this is like right in Sedition's home territory here, so you would have thought that this would have
Yeah.
been this
And again,
this would
I'm
have been a good fight for to see who would win at a full strength. Galente,
not
might
a huge
basically
fan
make
of
him a draw.
the placement of this. I can think of a lot of other systems I would have rather see this thing dropped for the first kind of go around in the test on it. I just think with as much fighting and pushing that Setter's been trying to do up here, and where we are in faction warfare as Galente, that yeah, there's just a lot of other systems that would have been strategically better for
Well,
our
I'm kind of hoping that it's
for Gumno.
random. That's just
Yeah.
a random algorithm that's not controlled by somebody.
No, I think the people at CCP are in Kaldari militia, so I
Very
think
possible.
they're just out to get us. I think that's what it is. So I
Yeah,
mean, CCP Kestrel, come on,
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's right there.
Yeah, I know you gotta push. You gotta push. Um, but
So
yeah, I think that there's just a lot of potential for what this is. I really like it. I'm
mhm.
wondering what they're going to do if because they talked about this system and the system that we have for like faction warfare, like all this stuff that they're kind of building in lowsec here is going to come out as the new SOV system possibly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been wondering. I was listening to some shows and just kind of reading some Reddits and stuff like that about like what's the possibility of how do you make a SOV system out of this? And I do, the one thing that I did see and hear about was using suppression towers and propaganda towers to like lower or raise the ADM of a system, or make it easier to lower, or to at least lower it. Um, that seemed kind of interesting. There's a structure that needs to be placed that broadcasts that, hey, I'm fucking with your ADM. How do you make it? But I think that one of the key elements here is that when you're like attacking, instead of using entosises and stuff like that, they could have these be just like little PvE sites that are easier to be fully PvP ready, instead of being, need to, focus on this entosing that it messes with your ship. It has all these different restrictions. If you just make it, these pockets of dead space that everybody needs to fight in.
I wonder how that would scale up. I would really want to talk to somebody who is into kind of that big block warfare. Other than the other day when we were up in Oix trying to defend that structure, I haven't had a fight that big in probably 6 months. I think where you actually have tie-dye in a system, in faction warfare. I haven't had a fight like that. As I said, probably once every 6 months, maybe we run into something like that.
Yeah, and so there was, speaking of that, real quick, there was a fight in Oix where there was three main actors that came together with sedition. You had the Kaldari militia, and then you had Goon Swarm getting called in by the Kaldari militia. And so there was an insane TFI Typhoon fleet issues that were just kind of going at each other. Pretty even numbers if you didn't include the Galent, or the Goon Swarm, but as soon as Goon Swarm came in, it solidified what was going to be happening there, and we ended up having to pull out.
Yeah, Goon Swarm is aligned with Keldar. We've talked about that in the past, that they did it for a very specific reason, and that's to get to the Phoenix Navy issues with LP. They've that's not a secret. They've put that out. That was the whole reason for their alignment with them. So, but it was interesting to see them show up in big fights. I mean, I guess that is kind of what Goons are really known for, right? Like big fights, getting a lot of people together, being organized, and
this was interesting.
So I think it was right up to what they could do, or are known for doing. So,
yeah, I mean, they've been usually pretty cautious about dropping and doing stuff inside of lowsec, but I think that maybe they've gotten a lot more experience with the ability to enlist and stuff like that, and there is opportunities for them for sure to greatly sway this war in the favor of the Kaldari. I think that the insurgency has been a pretty big help for the Kaldari at this point, no matter what. There was some, they did have their it was Kaldari high sec that got messed with, didn't it? Or was it Galente?
Yeah, I thought it pushed south into like Vegas, I guess, a low sec, but towards that area.
No, I think it was
because Oli, I know Oli's in the bubble now.
Yeah, so I really don't like this map.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this map myself. It's hard to navigate. It's hard to see. Maybe it's just
okay. So it was Galente space that had our Galente space. A lot of our Galente space, not a lot, but 3.
Enough.
Yeah. 4. Yeah, let's see here. You have Galente Federation. Yeah, so Orville. Oh, Orville got
Mm-hmm.
hit. Oh man.
Yeah, I got gate camped right outside Orville. I had a. It's fun. I had a handful of starter missions that Mango has never done, so I wrapped those up, and then I took my catalyst and was coming up here just because I wanted one in system, and didn't make it. Yeah, just jumping through Orville into low sec, got gate camped and lost it. So, which is why I'm in Abernall right now. Aubernall.
Yeah, this is going pretty rough here. Let's see, the pretty much everything is coming close to being fully corrupted here.
Yeah, and that's that's a big supply line coming through there, and that's been a problem. Like we brought up, not having ships, not having modules. Like right now, I just tried to look at Javelin, and some I'm not person has got Javelin for 1,500 each. So they are really trying to price gouge the shortage right now. So it kind of sucks. If you were trying to equip a ship in the war zone up here, it's going to cost you a fortune if you can find what you're looking for. But yeah, now the supply lines are shut off. So
yeah,
all that means for me is that I'm going to be playing elsewhere. I'm gonna go back down to my home system area and
no. So this is something
down there,
that's interesting in the incentive. Another disadvantage of being in the Galente's desire to do these sites is that if you go to the other frontline systems, they're not super crazy right now, and you can make the same amount of LP basically as doing these pirate sites, and everybody's drawn to these pirate areas, so it does leave open opportunities for us to attack in other areas, and the Keldari have the numbers to still be able to do that. What I'm wondering is how much is it going to balance out of how many Keldari have switched over to the Garistas. But the Garistas get kicked out of Jidda, so it's possible that they'd go over to the Angels, who don't get technically kicked out of Jidda, but it's still dangerous as fuck to be in Jidda. If you have a war deck on you, so
yeah, maybe it'll open up some other trade routes. I would love to Dixie to not suck. Stackmon is a good alternative, but again, it's not Jidda. So I don't know. Maybe that's
is like the main one. So
yeah, that'd be nice if Stowe Dixie didn't suck. So
yeah, Trip T says I have no interest in the pirate fights. Gal Mill is way undermanned. Yeah, I mean we're definitely going to be losing, and we have already lost some people to the Garistas and the Angels. This is going to be rough. I wonder. So my big thing is what's going to happen is once these finish up, is it a week? Is it a month? Is it a year until like another drop of a fob? Now, I mean, I'm imagining that it's probably going to be maybe a week, maybe longer, maybe a little bit shorter.
I think someone said 2 week. There's a 2-week cooldown in startup. I can't remember who.
So that's
going to be... It was in one of the CCP things.
Oh, okay. So if it is 2 weeks, that's interesting because that's going to be a pretty big slowdown. You can't make LP by doing this activity anymore. You can make LP by killing. That's it at this point. You also don't have the ability to jump in from Zarzak if there's not a fob there. Also, what happens to the fob at the end of this, and what happens to all the items and stuff inside of this? I want to know also what happens if we blow it up, right? So
yeah. Now it was CCP Kestrel that was saying it on Astaroth's stream, and forgive me if I quote what he was typing in the chat, but he said it's 2 weeks. I don't know if it's 2 weeks from the end of the insurgent or from the beginning of this insurgent. So
I would imagine
if
from the end, but
yeah. But
Even
again,
so,
I don't recall off the top of my head.
that's a decent chunk of downtime.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder what the what's going to happen in that 2 weeks for the pirates. Is it just this is downtime, restock back up and get Zarzak as stocked and protected as possible, or you know what's the PvE activity for them to do?
Yeah, I know they're
get them into outer space doing stuff.
They've already started up the spinning up of LP. I know on Oz Tank they actually helped fund somebody who's going to be coordinating the LP purchasing and trading for things specifically for their war efforts. So that should be interesting. But again, I just hope they don't put it back in Calenthi's face, and we can see how the next affects the other side. So
yes, Fleabach, the game is up and running now. There was a short outage that they had when they hit 40,000.
They replaced the hamster, and they're good to go.
Yeah.
But there are some things going on in Iceland. Just a real world shout out and hopes and prayers to all the people there. They've had numerous earthquakes, and a volcano is pending. So wishing all them best of luck. I guess the news just came out that these people will not be able to return back to their homes because of all the shaking and the damage that's been caused. So definitely wishing them the best luck out there. Now back to our real world, and so it is actually kind of amazing CCP has been able to keep the game up and going with all that going on. I mean, they're shutting down one of the power plants there, or I don't know if it's actually shut down, the one right by the Blue Lagoon there.
Well, the servers aren't in
oh, that's right, I'm just an idiot.
Iceland,
sorry.
So the game shouldn't go down, but the staff is in trouble, or not trouble, but just
I'm actually drinking some real beer this time. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I had to go up to the Dells to drop off a chair for my 80-year-old aunt. One of those lifting chairs, So I drove it up there with my mom and stopped in, and my mom bought me a case of Nuclear's Spotted Cow.
There you go, man.
Nice. We'll be drinking plenty of it for the Madtown meetup. So I gotta get my practice in.
There you go. Yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with this expansion. Also, the other thing that came out with this expansion, which I just started playing around with a little bit, is the... let's go ahead and do this real quick. We're going to bring up opportunities.
Oh, yes. I've seen you playing with them, and Alec was playing with them too, so... these are interesting. Again, those quality of life issues they talked about during FanFest.
All right, we'll
just making things easier on you as a corp runner.
All right, so we've got the damage for ISK that you can. So now anybody that does damage to a Capsuleer will get. I have earned already 16,000 ISK for this effort. I don't know when that pays out.
If you look just above your character, we ran into this with Noir the other day. Wait, go back to that screen. Just above your character where it says claim.
Oh,
there's a little button above that. So you have to claim it, so it's not an automatic payout. So yeah, we ran into that in Noir the other day. Alec had put out a bunch of stuff for the guys, and everyone's like, I'm not getting my payouts. And yeah, we had to figure that out. So yeah, you have to go back into the client and go in and claim your rewards. So
don't forget to get ISK for healing now. So these are all just test things that I've kind of put out for our corporation. We'll probably expand upon these types of things, but
Noir is in faction warfare still. Yeah, we do it as kind of our sideline in between contracts. It's just a way to stay practice and work on our fleets, and we train up a lot of our new guys that way. So yes,
it does seem like there's ways of cheating this system to a large degree. So the damage for ISK, it doesn't. I mean, you can kind of like, let's see here. So if we go to
if I damage you and then heal you, do I get credit for both?
I think there is some things that you can do, but I mean, you can always get the ult. It's like you don't have to do death blows, you know. So and even then, it would be still gameable. This is something where you gotta, you want to probably be a little bit careful about how easy you make it to get the ISK for doing these things. Where? Okay, so I want to create a new. So if we create, so you get this little box here, damaged 4 capsule leaders. Now I can do okay, so I can do a target organization, a specific organization, a specific ship type, a specific solar system that you want it to happen in. But as long as you check all 3 of these boxes, you can start making money for dealing damage to somebody, and they just heal themselves, and you just deal the damage to them. You don't even have to kill them. So this is definitely gameable. Healing for ISK is also definitely gameable, because that will be another one with, you'd have to make it for your organization. So all you have to do is just sit outside with your buddy. All right, you deal damage to me. Make money while you're dealing damage to me. I will heal the guy that's dealing damage. Like, there's so much gaming that you could do with the system here that that's going to be a problem, I think. Running faction warfare plexes, much less gameable, I think, because you can set it so it has to be offensive. So this kind of forces you to want to do offensive frontline system ones, because then you get the LP payout plus this payout. If you did a backline system, you'd get this payout, but you wouldn't get the LP payout, because backline systems suck. And it still could count towards some backline systems. You can also specify as a very specific solar system to make it even less gameable. You want people to go out. So this is the big one right here. And I think that this is going to be really huge for faction warfare. Getting everybody to want to run and do plexes in a very specific system, and giving an ISK reward for doing that is awesome, especially for like new players. So that's where I think that this is something that new players are going to really like. They're going to get this direct, ISK payout for doing a, oh, thank you so much for the subscription, Insaney.
Yeah, this will save a lot of headache. Alk has complained about this for years. You can't have 20 guys taking part in a contract and then going back and going, who did what? How do I break this down? I mean, it took him hours, and he finally had to just limit it to, all right, we're gonna do like these top 10, and then we'll have like the MVPs and stuff. We'll get it, and again, it's just a time-saving measure to keep his sanity on top of all the other work that he has to do to run the corp. So I get it. But as a new player, I remember coming in and being on contracts and taking part, and then not getting a payout and being all like, oh, what the shit?
Yeah, I mean, you can set something now of like just a specific organization's ship that you want. So this could be where, but the one thing is that it's going to be limited to the corporation, right? So this is not something
Hmm.
that can be done by an alliance. If these could be handed down from alliance level, that would be even more helpful to the
Hmm.
contract system, I think. Um, but there are ways of working on this, and yeah, I think that this is huge. This is great for mercenaries. This is great for just incentive to do specific tasks and to kill specific people. Um, this is really um, awesome. I'm excited to see what happens moving forward here. I'm gonna make a bunch of these different projects. Once we have like a specific. One thing is, can we? Okay, one I haven't checked this yet. Let's do it real quick. So I want you guys to kill people who are Keldari. So oh, let's get capturing
Khan Keldari's in a whole lot of trouble.
Oh. Yes. Keldari State. So I think that I can set it to that. So the one thing is, I wonder if I don't put any ship type in here, does that include ibises? And I wonder how well this is tracked as well. Like,
I don't know
if I do kill something. So this is something we're gonna have to test out. So if we do destroyer, oh, you have to like specify a very specific.
Oh, so it's not just a class. It's asking you for.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you can do a specific class, but you can do. I like how heavy is still. You can still find stuff here. Well, that kind of sucks. So.
Yeah.
But, set the list into yet. Let's say I want 20 kills here.
Yep, and speaking of Fleet, I think that's been an issue with this new system, is the focus was kind of shifted a bit, and we I guess there's no reason for the Caldari to even come to like the Oix area when the damage is already being done up there. So they flipped Fleet, and it looks like Onasikin is going to go with the next couple of days, if not tonight still, unless we can mount the defense. And then Tantalin is also on its way, so it's at like 75%. So so this pirate warfare is actually having a decent impact on the rest of the system as well. Yeah, Onasikin's at 94.9 and Tantalin's at 73.5. And even Aboon is going back up. So I think as people are moving to the north to fight, the south is taking its hit.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing a hit happening down. Like, we've lost Ujarento, we're getting pushed back, and everything is in the south is kind of taken a backseat to all the stuff that's happening in the north. Yeah, we'll see though, because I think that there's opportunities though for that, because if you depending on your size, if you're a big group, you want to be involved in that pirate or that pirate stuff that's going on, or if it's your home area, you want to defend it from it. If you're living in that area. I'm interested to see though. Like I think that there's gonna because this hits high sec. That's kind of crazy. Like I think that's we're gonna see a lot of structures getting blown up in high sec. We're seeing a lot of just general chaos that this is kind of bringing to high sec, and so it's gonna make people retreat back to like 0.8 and 0.9 systems are like where you want to live. Like that's 0.8, 0.9, and 1.0. That's the safe zone in this game now. And I don't know. Some people would say that that's Eve though. Eve's not a safe spot. And if you had a structure up, you could have got war decked anyways. So there was always a possibility of it getting torn down.
Well, I'm not familiar with the game mechanic or how that works, and maybe you can help me figure it out or understand it too. So how would NPC stations fare with all the piracy? Can the pirates attack the NPC stations? Because it says that
they can plunder
Concord
them
won't respond.
Oh, the NPC stations are not going to be destroyable.
Okay.
So
because it said that because the biggest issue obviously if you attack an NPC station is you get concorded, but if it says Concord's not going to respond in the system that's at level 5, does that mean you could blow it up? That was kind of my question as I'm sitting here in an NPC station at a level 5
because you could do that in low sec already.
Not gonna get smoked.
And no NPC stations do not get blown up. It's not a problem.
Oh, it's good to know.
But there is something about plundering, and I don't know what that means. Is it like station services are not going to be working, or?
Well, I know they're getting superior drops. If you're in faction war, if you're in the pirate systems and you blow a ship up, the drops from that ship are better.
Yep.
And it's like at 70% or something now.
Yeah, so that's a huge thing. That's nice, but there is also a reward at the end that they get, and so we'll see. That's going to be happening here pretty soon. Yeah, I think that overall this has been a successful patch. There's been a successful expansion, and I think that this has brought a lot of good ships, a good, interesting content. They're definitely not on the side of the Galente at all. Like this is just another fuck you Galente patch, but that's fine. It's like the last one out of this, I was like so excited for it to be a federation or be a frontline system, a whole system that's kind of designed around this epic fighting for new revamp of faction warfare, and then they made the Navy Moros shit and the Navy Phoenix like epic. It's like another like, yep, fuck you, Galente.
So Kingfish got 14K in LP and 6 mil in ISK. I think that's actually pretty cool. You actually get an ISK payout.
Oh, a 6 mil. Okay, so I wonder how much you like. Is it more if you did more, or is that just a straight up everybody who participated got that much? Because that's okay. There's nothing.
Yeah, better nothing.
Nothing I wouldn't refuse, or I would be like, no, I don't want that. Yeah, I'll take that at the end of the campaign. But
definitely covers your ammo costs.
Yeah, exactly. So, and 6 mil is good for the brand new players who need every 1 millionist they can get.
Covers ammo. Gotta have an ammo fund.
I earned approximately 160,000 LP during the incursions in Okay, so that's Little chunk. Now, how much, King? So, if how much are you expecting to cash out at? Are you is the LP 1 million ISK per 1,000 LP, or is it better than that? And I think that it's double that, if I remember correctly. But you'd get about 2 million ISK per 1,000 LP. And so that would be worth like your 160,000 LP that you got would be worth like 312 or 320 million ISK.
Now their LP store doesn't seem to be vastly different than ours. Only the ships have kind of switched around.
It's above 3,000, so 3,000 ISK per LP. So that's 3 million ISK per LP. Like that is one of the huge benefits of being part of the pirates. So that's the first report that I've had. I haven't been able to dig into this, and I haven't done the pirate shit yet because there's so much going on in the Federation side. I haven't yet been able to spool up my Angel character and get them out. But that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, and the big thing is that I've seen from their stores, they don't have tags. Obviously, you're not gaining tags. So, as far as like their,
it's all ISK, shield, right?
Yeah, so it's the LP and ISK. So, I don't know that any of their equipment or modules are better than what we would have in Galente stuff. So if you're getting a Fed armor plate,
this is also a faucet.
Angel armor plate would be the same exact thing, or Karista plate, the same exact thing. Only you don't have to have any tags to buy it.
Yeah, and so this is also one of the big things of turning the faucet on and off. Is that as soon as this fob is over, that in the Angels one already it is like that kills all the sites, right? The sites aren't worth it anymore, and you can't make any more LP. So it's these short bursts of the massive amount of LP that's going to be poured into it, but then it immediately is going to stop. The more and the harder it gets pushed, the more likely that it's going to be quickly it's going to end quickly, just like it just did. Like I didn't expect this only to last a week. I thought this was going to be like a month-long brawl, but it seems like this is designed to be like it lasts a week, it cools down for 2 weeks, it lasts a week. So that'll be interesting to see how much that affects the market regarding that. But I can say for right now, all the advantage is on the side of the pirates at this point in time, and there is not a good incentive for the Galente or the Keldari, besides getting in fights, to go and do this. If the problem is that them getting to like steamrolling getting to level 5 in multiple 7 systems is really going to be always easy for them, because especially since the faucet will be off for 2 weeks or whatever. However long the faucet is off, the longer the faucet is off, the more of a buildup it's going to be of, okay, as soon as it turns on, we're going to blitz this one again, and we're going to get it done in 3 days. So we can just eke out as much of the LP as we can possibly, or pull out because everybody's just going to do it. You can't control it besides making it go faster. You can't really slow it down besides not participating, which means you don't get the ISK out.
No. I think overall I'm not like a huge fan of how this is turning out. Like I said, between the gate camps and all that, it's just been kind of more of a headache than anything to try to get some decent gameplay. But that aside, Thursday night, Atomic Feet took out a fleet for Noir and the Noir Academy, and we were kicking ass. I think we're having trouble winding the fleet down, because every time we tried to jump into assistant closer to Haid, we would run into another group, and so after like 3 hours and 50 some kills, we finally wrapped it up. So, as much as I say maybe I'm not a fan, I said I was definitely enjoying that couple of hours of fleet that we had. But then again, like I said, we were kicking ass. I mean, I went like 50. I think I lost 3 ships and killed like 50. So I would definitely do that again. So I guess if I'm winning, maybe I'd like it more.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, it is hard to be on the like getting your ass handed to you side. Now, I mean,
yeah.
I agree with the amount of people that you can engage and fight and catch and stuff like that that's going on right now is kind of crazy with a small gang. We took out our Wednesday night fleet, took out our Thrasher fleet, and we caught a Proteus, we caught um, what other big fish did we catch? Um, There was another big fish that we caught, but I mean, we caught a bunch of smaller stuff. But that Proteus was like an epic, like first kill right away. There was like a smaller ship I think that we killed that was worth like 800 million or something. It was some
Mm-hmm.
stupid shit that was just happening, um, because there was just a bunch of new pirates that didn't know what the fuck was going on, and we were catching them, in their bling ass frigates with our thrashers, and just 10 thrashers was able to just burn through all, like, cruiser and down just got melted by us.
But did have an opportunity to take out Hecate, however you want to say it. It's just a ship I love to fly, and so we get a fleet of them together. And again, like I said, we were having so much fun. So
Yeah,
we
there's
covered a lot of ground and shot a lot of bullets.
yeah, lots of good fights I think to be had. Small gang stuff is huge, is hugely up. Mediums. There's a reason for like 30 to 50 or 60 man fleets to be flying around, clashing with each other now, um, which is it's fun. I'm
Hmm.
enjoying it a lot, but it is a lot harder to get your shit to where you want it to go solo. This is much more of a game that's this area of faction warfare is going, whenever these things happen, are going to be extremely dangerous zones that you go in with a fleet of people to try and or live in already the
Hmm.
chaos that is already there. um,
And I could see now, kind of having a better understanding of it, having watched it go. I will be better prepared for the next time going around. I'll know what ships I can have. I'll get them into systems and ready to go. I'll have them spread out into different systems in that area. And even from the marketing side, to put stuff up on contract. If you can have, like, if there were 20 retributions up on contract right now, they would be sold out. So at where I'm at. So again, from a marketing standpoint, I think that's going to be another avenue that we can explore moving forward with this. Is making money. How are we making money at this? But we'll see. Um, I know we're still trying to work on it. The logistics. How do you get to the beans and the bullets in the front line? And yeah, like I said, I think we're going to be better prepared for the next go around.
yeah, we'll see how things go. I'm interested to see how long it takes, and if the new shine feeling is still there for the second incursion. I think that people will be more prepared, have picked out their sides. I would like to see some changes that would, like the LP payout needs to be, or there needs to be something that really incentivizes us to do these plexes
Mm-hmm.
over our plexes, because our
Yeah.
plexes, it's just better to go off and do these in not a chaotic place if you want to make ISK, and even help the war effort, because we need people plexing in Fleet right now. We need people in Hanato. And it's the new shine is definitely there, but I feel like next go around, like King Fish was kind of saying here, the way the insurgencies are set up right now is probably better for pirates not to win quickly and instead focus on spreading to additional systems. Yes, but it's almost impossible for them to do it slowly. Because if there was an iron fist of somebody that was controlling this, that could say, only, you know, plex here until level 3. Once it hits level 3, go to the next system and do that over again, and just, you know, like, and could actually control the spread and be like, no, don't boost this up to level 4 or 5, because as soon as we get to level 5, you know, in 7 systems, this is over. Let's spread it as far as it can possibly go. Like, just get it to level 3 and then let it, because I think it automatically slowly goes up too, right? By itself. I could be wrong on that, but in any case, it, you know, it's going to go up because people are going to not listen to the best way of doing this, and they're going to go for the easiest place to make ISK. And they're going to do these kind of sites, and or just easy of like access, jump in, do the site. So if it's more of a chaos kind of thing, that you can't control who's going to be pushing up what system. And I think that getting to level 5 in 7 systems is not going to be that hard for the pirates ever. Like, that's just going to be an inevitable thing. But we'll see though. I want to see what kind of, you know, changes that they make, if any, to the upcoming stuff. But I do foresee that there's going to be a disincentive, besides like the chaos of like, oh, this is fun to do. It's not paying out better, and it's paying out 3 times better to be for the pirates than it is to be the Galente or Caldari at this point in time. So that's...
Yeah, it's also interesting to I kind of ran into this a bit myself with the bouncing between the different mechanics, the difference between being in a faction warfare site and a pirate warfare site, even within the same system. You know, the mechanics are a little bit different of what ship can come into it, which ones can't.
Yep.
They're kind of bouncing, so it's really important to kind of keeping in mind what system you're in, or what station you're in, or what plex you're in.
And so it's interesting because the rats are 3 or so. It goes up to like 5, I think. I've seen 5 frigates. And the thing is, though, is that they're really easy to kill. There's just a bunch of them. They're also fighting a bunch of other NPCs, the Mordu's Legion. So those two are fighting with each other. You go in. I think this is cool. Like, you go in, you help one side, you kill them. They don't do that much DPS. They don't have that great of tank at all. You can take a Comet and go do a medium, and the Comet only does like 137, like, you know, 40 DPS, or 170 or something like that with drones.
But I know you've talked about this for years, of like how this would be a nice change to faction warfare. This would prevent some seagulling, or I'm going to send in an unequipped. I'm going to just put an unarmed ship into a plex and have it just sit there.
Yeah,
and get the LP if no one blows me up.
This is kind of what I want to see happen to regular plexes in general, is that if we switched over to this type of plex actually for ours, all sites are there. It's just faction warfare plexes. There's not offense and defensive plexing. There's offense and defensive systems, but the plexing doesn't change. You know, there's always going to be an enemy for you to shoot. There's always a possibility of getting scrammed. It's, you know, little ships can go in and do these medium type of sites would be kind of nice. You can kind of do that depending on your setup for that. But destroyers are really great right now because they can go into the smalls, the mediums, and the larges, and even the opens, and do that with, you know, the high DPS output that they can put out. But I think that this would be kind of nice to see come over to faction warfare a little bit more. I do like that there is no defensive plexing for these, that it's just all offensive plexing. You get the full payout. If, you know, it's only happening in the areas that you're in, so or that this is, you know, happening. So it is kind of nice to get the nice setup. Caviar says, I said a bit back, stramming NPCs shouldn't be an issue if you are already going to shoot them. Yeah, if you're already gonna be shooting them, then yeah, absolutely. It's not. I don't think I haven't run it into. I think it's actually kind of balanced a little bit. They're not pointing all the time. You're not their only target. So because you're not their only target, you have a huge ability to actually get out if like the enemy comes in to try and catch you. I've gotten out quite a few times actually when like a gang of people came in to catch me. But it does scram every once in a while, or not scram, it disrupts or points you, long points you every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of nice. And not all of them point, from my understanding, from what I've seen so far. And if you have more than one person, you can easily like kill those things off. Really, even one person, like an Arty Thrasher, can do the smalls like with no problem whatsoever. One shots each one of the frigates that is in the small. So you just point it at a frigate, it blows up. It does the mediums quite well because it just there's either 5 frigates or 3 destroyers, and that thing just as fast as it can shoot, it's killing one after another after another. If it's a frigate, if a destroyer, it's like 3 shots.
Yeah, but they're a nice distraction for people entering the sites. I guess nice or bad, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to keep an eye on D-Scan when you're fighting even 3 NPC.
It is a little bit more because you have to lock up more targets, you have to deal with more targets, and then
it's just
when the enemy comes in, I've definitely had it where we were fighting the NPCs. I didn't get rid of the NPC locks fast enough, or just forgot to altogether, or just tried to keep them while grabbing the new one, and then that just adds like another layer of complicity. So it definitely can affect things, which is, I think that's cool. I like it. I'm happy about the change. I wish that our plexes would be more like this. Like,
yeah,
this would just become more of the standard of what a plex.
Yeah, maybe they'll evolve into it. Like I said, you've shouted this for years that this would be a great change. They're implementing it into the game now, so maybe they'll expand it into, as we talked about, nullsec has been brought up, and yeah, I'm interested to see where this game goes from here. I said I've enjoyed it. I've hated losing some of my ships, but overall I've enjoyed being taking part in this new expansion so far. So
yeah. So we'll definitely have more to report on this, and more that I'm going to learn as I get more reports of what's happening out there in the world, and keep an eye on this stuff. This is exciting. We'll see what happens overall.
Yeah, it's definitely people logging in. Definitely fights are happening. People are, engaging. Ships are getting blown up, which is the whole point. That's the game. You can't sell ships if people aren't buying ships, and people aren't going to buy ships if they're not blowing up the ones they've got. So,
yeah, I think this is perfect. I like how much people are out in space right now, and where they are out in space. 0.0 has kind of cooled down from what I've been hearing. There isn't really any major war going on out there. PamFam has kind of taken their northern section. The Goons have kind of taken the southwest, and so you've got the Imperium versus PamFam, and then neutral states kind of in between them. So there's only really 2 major coalitions that are doing anything anymore out in 0.0, so things have calmed down out there. There's no major war going on anymore. Yeah, we'll see how things work out in the end. If this somehow bleeds into 0.0, 0.0 is probably due for some love at this point. So we'll see what the next expansion has to offer. But this one I think was a pretty good success, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the next one brings out, or if they expand more upon faction warfare and pirate faction warfare. That'd be great. So, well, thank you so much. Oh,
What's going to get nerfed? What's going to get buffed?
Right.
That's the big thing.
What new ships are going to be put out there? I'm still waiting for the faction Logi from.
Oh yeah.
You know, for us, like that would a cruiser or a
Are
battle cruiser. That's a Logi ship. You know.
But speaking of new ships, also probably the last bit of important news to throw out there: the first Angel Titan PVC is out on contract, and for 2.5 trillion, you too can own a blueprint to build the new Azerial Titan. So
wow,
2.5 trillion.
So somebody was able to get to, what is it, 500 million LP? Is that what the?
Yeah, and that has got a lot of people talking because I believe the character that's putting out is aligned with Fraternity, and you know, Frat has had a history of being involved in bot issues, and I'm just saying what was out on Reddit. I don't have an opinion on them, even though I think most of them are probably bots. But that's the thing. Like literally, it's been out 3 days, and these guys have enough LP to put up a Titan. So, but it's on the market now in Jita.
That's
or
crazy.
actually, I don't know if it's in Jita. I'm not sure where it's at. I thought it was in Jita.
Probably. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the show here. I think we'll go ahead and wrap things on up here. Thank you all for watching, and we'll keep reports up on what's going on. We'll be out there showing the war zone, having fun, killing stuff, and getting the news for you.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.